Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This reading will be about Zendaya and Tom Holland. I'm going to be looking into the relationship. I just done the Robert Pattinson reading about him and his girlfriend, and that one got really deep, very deep. I wasn't even expecting what popped up in it. It was very, very deep. One of the more deeper ones. I don't know. I think that one and the Shia LaBeouf one are both deep ones, in my opinion. I don't know why the Robert Pattinson one, I don't know, struck me as really deep and surprising for whatever reason. Even more than the Shia one. But, yeah, so I'm just going to be looking and seeing what's up with them, are these people in love and what's going on? So let me just get the nature of their relationship. What can we see? Let's relate the nature of this couple's relationship. All right, so starting off with the lovers. What's going on with the current slot? Can we see playfulness? Okay, that's beautiful. I was going to say needing to compromise, but it's kind of just like they do compromise. There's a need for it, and they actually do compromise. I'm going to be looking into that one after I get this last slot. So let's see, the future slot. Okay, new vision. And I'm going to have to look into this one too. So what do this couple have to compromise on? What can I see about that? What do these people have to compromise on? What have they been compromising on? What can we see? What does this couple compromise on? Okay, so let me get this one. Okay. I have to be real with you guys. They compromise on the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast being Hollywood. These people, they're Hollywood folks, right? They're not even small-time people. They're big-time people, right? And I was saying, what do they have to compromise on, right? The nature of the industry. I'm going to be more mundane here. I'm not going to be so intense. But what I'm seeing here is the traveling, not just that, the skimpy outfits. I don't care. That's not what I don't even care about that. But I'm seeing that that's a big deal for him. To be honest, I never seen her skimpy. I don't know. But it's telling me that he feels like some of her outfits are skimpy and he doesn't like it. So he doesn't like the fact that sex sells. He doesn't like the fact that he feels like she's being used, like her image is being used. Not just that, he doesn't like sort of like the nature of the industry that they're in. They both don't like it. So I don't know. I believe both of these people are actors and actresses. So maybe they have to do things in movies, like kiss people. Yeah, actually, I know that she's obviously an actress because Dune. That's the only thing I've ever seen her in. I've never seen her in any other movie, just because I'm not a movie person. That's why I don't care to watch movies and I don't watch TV shows. So, and if I'm right, I think they always call him Spider-Man. So I guess he was in a Spider-Man movie. The last Spider-Man movie I seen, I think I was in the first grade, the first or the second grade. And that was the Spider-Man with the guy from that 70s show. That was the last Spider-Man movie I've ever seen. So that should tell you that, I just don't watch movies. And it's not, I don't know, I'm just not a movie person. I always see movies as, for me, they're kind of depressing in a way. I don't know, just watching movies. There's something very depressing about movies. I don't know, it just, I'm probably going to sound irritating. I don't know, I guess I have such a magical mind. And I have a lot of paranormal experiences, because my moon is in the first house. And there's some other stuff going on too with my whole first house. I even have Pluto in the first house and just different things. So it's kind of just I see and interact with a lot of paranormal stuff that movies to me just seem depressing. It don't seem magical. I know maybe for some people, they love it. But for me, I don't know, something very depressing about movies. Even when I was a kid, movies were depressing. Unless it was something I wanted to see. Like, I think when I was in the 4th grade, I think Troy came out, and I ended up seeing Troy. I love Troy and stuff like that. Like, it has to be something I vibe with. Like, that's why I seen Dune, because, like, I know what I like. Like, you know, I'm intuitive even outside of, like, doing tarot. So, like, you know, if I don't feel it, then yeah. Like, I watched the first season of House of the Dragon, because my intuition told me, like, it was going to be good, right? And then when the second one came out, I didn't even see a trailer for it. I just knew it was going to be bad, and I never watched it. And everyone that's seen it, because I was telling everyone see like the House of the Dragon River, and then like everyone that's seen it was just like, oh, this one was bad. Have you seen it? And I'm just like, no. And they keep trying to force me to see it, but my intuition just told me like I just wouldn't like it. You know, so I'm like very weird that way. But let me focus on what I'm seeing here. So this is beautiful because thus far, it started with the lovers, right? And currently, it's with being playful and them enjoying themselves. This thing with compromising has to do with the nature of the industry that they're in. You know, there's a lot of things that goes on. I didn't want to make this that type of reading, but it's telling me from parties, from things that happen. There's it's telling me, because this is YouTube and I really need to watch out what I say, that I can't really say things like I used to say in the past. So let me just say that there's movies, there's parties, so she can get into these movies, including him. There's parties that these people have to go to, and there's producers that these people have to interact with. And, you know, let your mind run however you want it to run, right? As far as like, what do you think is going on, right? What is the rumors that goes on with producers in these parties? You know, I try to stay away from it, but it keeps telling me to bring it up because that's what it is. And that there's something going on with that he doesn't like and she doesn't like, but they have to do it because it's part of the deal. This new vision, though, moving on in the future, I'm seeing that they just want to plant roots. It's telling me plant roots is a big deal with this. Planting roots. You know. But there's something else to this. What else can we see? There's something else going on with this. What can we see? I mean, there might be some sort of distance because of all this working. You know, and the reason why, when I was just like, what else is like happening? What else can I see? Is because I see the woman exalted, elevated, and I see him not doing so good. So, you know, I don't know, like, I think she's the bigger celebrity, but I see that continuing, and I see him trying to like catch up or trying to become big. There's something going on with that. It's not so bad yet, but it's definitely seeds there. I don't know if it's some sort of, I don't know, it's not telling me jealousy, but yeah, it's not a jealousy, it's an inadequacy. The guy, he does feel a little bit inadequate, right? And I guess maybe you could say that's good because he's a man and he wants to do well, you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not faulting him for it, but I definitely see that as being a situation, you know? Especially with this distance. It's going to be a distance. At the same time, they are going to be building sort of just like happy memories together. So that's a good thing. But he feels like he has to do all this extra working. He needs to just enjoy his happiness, you know? But hey, it is what it is. So let me see. Do this woman, does she love Tom Holland? What can we see? That's a cool name, by the way, Tom Holland. Justice. Okay, is this love or is this balance? Does she feel like it's giving me Libra energy? I don't know any of their zodiac signs, let me just say. But is this giving me sort of a thing where someone is in a relationship because it brings them balance? I'm not saying that there's not love, but it's kind of just like balance. One of the interesting things about Libra is it's always talk about like astrology signs and stuff. I guess now is my time to bring it up. Something I noticed with Libras, it's so funny, is that they'll entertain you, right? Like whether it be like, you know, for friendship or dating. But you have to understand what the scales represent. The scales doesn't necessarily represent justice. It wasn't about justice. The scales was about being a merchant. It was about appraising the value of something, right? So I see this like in real time. It's so funny to me. Like a Libra, they'll entertain you, right? Like let's just say if they like how you look, they'll entertain you. They'll be like, oh, okay, like I can deal with how you look. I like how you look. So let me be nice and turn up the charm and be like, oh, what's going on? You know, they'll be so nice and so like for women and the men, right? I've seen it like all angles of it, right? With different people is interesting. So they'll be very nice and they'll be like, you know, how are you? Like, what's going on? And oh, I was thinking about you today. Blah, blah, blah. Like they're very kind and cool people. Like when they have sense, they can be very like eloquent and very proper, right? But they're always assessing the value of something. So once they see something that they don't like, and let's just say if they feel like it disturbs the scales, then they'll cut you off. They'll completely cut you off. And they won't they won't tell you, like, for the most part, you know, it depends on like their rising and all that. Like they won't tell you like, yo, I'm just cutting you off, but they'll place like nice. They'll be like, oh, you know, have a great day. And I hope you're doing, you know, I hope you do well and stuff. I'll talk to you like another day. You know, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I just need to rest. And they'll never like message you again. So it's actually funny because it's like a thing that Libras do. They always try to like assess like or praise like the value of something. And if they feel like things are out of order, then they act accordingly, right? And then they won't like even try to like make all that effort to be nice. They'll pull that effort back. So it's kind of just like they could be so sweet. And it's kind of like, wow, like I never like had a vibe like this, or this is actually a really pleasant vibe. It's really like pleasant. It's nice. But once they feel like things is not right for their scales, then they'll like retreat. But they'll do it in the most like eloquent way. Like it's funny. Like a Capricorn will just like cut you off and won't tell you shit, right? They'll like give you hints constantly, constant hints. These people won't give you no hints whatsoever. They'll just be like, okay, I see you for what you are, or I see things for what it is. And then they'll just be like, oh, okay, yeah, I have to work. And, you know, I'm so busy. And then that's it. You won't hear from them. And this happens with a lot. Like I've seen it with just like different people I know. I've even encountered this vibe. It's interesting as hell. So let me ask now, does he love her? This man, okay, and I was seeing it. I could see it in his vibe. He looks like someone that's been hurt. You know, again, I'm intuitive, so I can see things. You know, I can tell like if someone's been, if they've been through things. Let me just say that this guy, when I look at his eyes and when I look at his spirit, he looks like someone that's been molested or someone that's been hurt, like sexually, like something happened to him where he was, where he's been through things sexually, right? What I'm seeing here is a hurt man, and he's still hurt and he's still dealing with it. I don't know if the industry did it to him. I'm not going to even look. I'm just focusing on what I'm seeing here. So what I'm seeing here is a man that's been through things, a man that's hurt, and a man that's going to continue to be hurt. What I'm seeing here is a woman that makes him feel balanced, a woman that kind of shows him kindness, and a woman that doesn't sort of just like bring him down. She elevate him. And so it's a situation where she's actually the strong one in the relationship, and he's actually, you know, like, I know this maybe like it's tough saying it, but I was going to say weak, but instead of saying weak, let me just say he's the more sensitive one in the relationship. Like he's a little bit more soft. He's been through things, you know, so it's kind of just like, you know, yeah, it's great, you know, with the lovers and then being playful, and it's just like positive energies all around, right? But tell me, for you guys that are intuitive, right? Because a lot of people that watch my readings are intuitive. Do you guys feel like a bit of a hollow energy with them? And it doesn't mean that their relationship's fake, because I'm not getting that, right? You know, I don't know if it started off fake or whatever. That's a whole other story, right? I'm not checking all that. What I'm just seeing here is that the love is real, right? But it's something about them where it seems empty. It seems like something is hollow. It's actually cold. It's cold to the touch. You know, there's some people that don't have this. Like even with the Robert Pattinson guy, I don't know why. I know I say it funny because like the way it's spelled. Because I used to thought like it was Patterson because everyone says Patterson, but when I see how it's spelled, it's Pattinson. So I don't know. But anyway, even with him, his relationship has some warmth there, even though it's dysfunctional. This one is kind of cold. So what I'm seeing here is that, I don't know. Let me see. Why I can definitely look into this. Why does she entertain this guy that's been hurt? Because the Nine of Wands represent coming out of an injury or being currently injured, right? This is sideways. What that represents is that he's just kind of trapped in that injury, that pain of what happened to him. So why is she with him? Can I see, like, what past lives? Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Disclaimer, let me just say that I don't believe in past lives personally. I'm gonna be real. I know, and the energy is just telling me, why did I say that? Because, like, I know people are going to look at me sideways. And the reason is I have a very deep perspective about past lives. I feel like it has to do with, like, DNA, right? How much of us is our DNA? And how much of us is soul, right? And it's kind of just like, when were we formed? Were we formed in the womb? Womb? How do you say it? Womb? Because I never say that word. Womb. Sorry. Were we formed in the womb, right? Or were we formed through kind of just like the genetics that passed around, basically, right? All that different transferring, right? So it's kind of just like we're so mixed with all that genetic memory. It's very esoteric, though, right? Because I know, like, some people don't like that, but just listen to me, right? Or hear me out. I should say, not listen to me, but hear me out. I say this because the moon has to do with genetic memory, right? The moon governs the reproductive sort of just like organs and all that stuff. So it's kind of just like, I think it's the combination, right? And the reason why I said it was beautiful, because I know this is going to sound like so lame, but I was like, it was so beautiful that I was like, oh, this could make me cry because this is beautiful, right? Because it's kind of just like, you know, a past life couple, like, you know, being together. I never like try to speak in absolutes. So let me just say, like, maybe the past life thing works, right? Maybe that's a real thing. Maybe we keep coming back here. It's kind of crazy to me, but it kind of makes sense too, though, because I'm going to be real. When I was 4, I've had memories of, like, weird things, even at 4. I know people ain't going to believe it, but if anyone wants to, like, like, I don't know, be like, because I, like, there's a lot of things I don't talk about, right? From even memory and even things, like, as far as what humans really are. And I'm not going to talk about that yet. I don't know if I ever will talk about that, because that's actually dangerous to talk about that. But I kind of know what humans are. Like, you know, even though I don't know what the past life and all that stuff is about, I definitely know what humans are and things like that, right? And I was trying to say, like, if someone want to be like, okay, then I'll test you out and you have to take a lie detector test. As long as you pay for it and all that shit, I'll take it. I have nothing to lie about regarding, like, this type of stuff. So it's kind of just like, I've had memory of being a rock climber and a boat, like boulders falling on me, particularly like just a boulder, I'm gonna be real, but me dying a violent death that way. I've also, when I was 3, I would always have memories of running in like a forest, in a very humid forest, by like people with guns and them like killing me, basically. Like, you know, it's weird stuff. And I know people have certain memories like that. And it's kind of just like, oh, okay, is it past lives? Right? But in these sort of, like, I don't know what you want to call it, regressions or whatever, I wasn't like ethnic. I was white in these dreams, right? So this is weird for a baby to have, you know, like experiences with and shit. Right? And I wasn't watching movies or TV shows at that age. So it's kind of just like, where did this come from? Why did it, you know, like, why is it like in my memory? And why did it like last up until like I was like, what, 8, 9? I would always have like the same dreams. So it's something to it. It's something to it. I'm not going to like say past lives doesn't exist, but I feel like, could it just be a combination of reform in the passing of the genetic code, whatever you want to call it? The energy is saying I'm doing too much. I need to just focus on this. But so yeah, like maybe I'll bring it up another time. So I mean, this is interesting to me. is very interesting to me. But what I'm seeing here is a past life situation. That's why she entertained it, because it was love in the past regarding this situation. She knows her baby is wounded and that, he needs some sort of, I don't know, compassion, this past life. They've had experiences before. However you want to take the past life, right? But they've had experiences before. So that's really beautiful. So that's why she's with this guy currently now, even though he's wounded. Is there any deeper insight as to why he's with her? It's telling me stop. Like, just the energy told me stop. Like, this is enough. So, I mean, that's why they're together. I mean, that's actually beautiful. Is there any advice for this couple moving forward? What can I see? Oh, I don't want to get all of this. Okay. I'll get it. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff going on here. This is like in, what reading did I do? What reading was it? And a lot of cards came out. I think it was the Tyra Banks reading. And I took all the cards the first time. I didn't want to. And then it explained deep shit. And then it happened again, later in the reading. And I didn't want to take it. And I did some of them, but not all of them. If I'm correct, if it was that reading. And it was kind of just then I regret it. It was kind of just oh, I should have just took it, even though I didn't want to. So let me just focus on what I'm seeing here now. I'm seeing here that there's this man, he has situations of depression. He goes through something to do with depression. It is what it is. And that this woman is kind of like his strength. Where the problem is going to pop up, and this has been popping up for a lot of celebrities, and I guess because it's just something realistic. I can't help that this is the same thing as far as the Millie Bobby Brown, and I don't know, it's another reading I did too, where it's kind of almost the same advice. They need to watch out with this distance. This is going to create problems. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of just where they can fail as far as not being sure of this relationship is when distance happen. So they need to watch out for that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of just one thing with a Capricorn, a woman, particularly, I deal with, I don't really deal with, and when I say deal, I mean in a professional level, right? Professionally. And I don't know why the wall has been vibrating. It's been doing that a lot, and it's obviously not me, and I'm not moving, because when I move, the chair kind of make noises, well, I don't know, it's not making noise now, but I don't know, the wall's just been vibrating actually, and I wasn't going to say anything, when it was telling me shut up and shit, but it's been doing that a lot, I don't know, with this particular reading. I think this is a powerful reading, guys. One thing, so yeah, when I say I don't deal with Capricorn women, I'm trying to say I don't deal with Capricorn sun women in a professional way. I notice I don't really get a lot of sun Capricorn women. I do get, however, a lot of moon and rising Capricorn women. And for the mundane, everyday woman, I would say, if I would, ratio it, I would say just the majority of them have problems with kind of love, either finding love or keeping love, right? But one thing I notice is when they are successful, there's an issue with their partner. It creates a distance. When a Capricorn rising, let me just say Capricorn woman, right? When a Capricorn woman, because I just deal with the risings and the moons, so I don't really want to speak too much on the sun because it's always a different energy depending on what it is. But let me just say, and I don't know if you guys still hear that shit shaking the wall and shit. Yeah, it's weird. But when a Capricorn native, a Capricorn woman native, when they're successful, right? It kind of creates an issue with the man. You know what I mean? Because it's almost just traditionally, right? Yeah, it probably wasn't like that forever, but traditionally the men always kind of been the breadwinner and stuff. So it's kind of just imagine when the woman's making more money and, she's more in that role of being the boss chick, whatever. It creates a kind of energy where the Capricorn woman can kind of become a little bit cold. And so that's what I've seen with the rising and the moons, is that they can be like, when they come to me for readings, they kind of have like a cold energy I feel right away. And they kind of bring it to their romantic life. And so it could kind of put a damper on things, right? You know, because Capricorn energy is a bit cold. So could you imagine, like, if you're trying to be romantic and stuff and you're already dealing with a man that's wounded, we got into that, and it's kind of just like you might start to become cold, because these women are warm, especially like in their inner circle, like their romantic world. They're definitely warm, right? It's not like they're not cold. But what ends up happening is the facade, because, you know, we have a facade. All of it, we don't all operate like how we might, like, just like with like everyone. We're not like that 24/7. You get it? Like, we're kind of different sometimes depending on the situation or the atmosphere or whatever, right? They start to kind of incorporate that work coldness into their relationships. And that can become an issue. That can become an issue. So it's kind of just like the advice would be, it's almost just like, damn, these celebrities need to start paying me and shit, because I'm getting, this is like some real good advice and shit, right? It's just like, it's deep, but it's saying like, I mean, it's common sense if you think about it, but to be honest, the best advice is the common sense ones. But what I'm seeing here is that it's kind of just like, watch out with being cold, because it could create a distance, right? Not just that. Yeah, they're going to be moving to more happiness, because that's what I'm seeing, like moving to more happiness and shit like that. But just watch out with this working too much. Watch out with interacting with people. Like, and I know people always say like, oh, Law Roach is a good guy. I'm not going to get into that. The reason why I bring him up is because understand, when you working with people with egos, that man, he has a strong ego, and it's not bad. He can have a strong ego. He can definitely feel entitled to whatever he wants. That's okay, right? You know, he's a soul and he's entitled to how he want to express himself. But she needs to understand that she's interacting with all these strong personalities, and it has an effect on her. So it's kind of just like all of us, right? If you interact with like someone with a strong, so that's why people don't tend to like me, because I guess I have a strong personality, you know. So it's kind of just like when you're dealing with a strong personality, it either makes people insecure, or they feel like they want to control you or know more about you. Or what ends up happening is like you have to become like strong or build up like a resistance to that energy, right? Because everything's energy. So she's working with all these people in the industry, right, that are strong, big personalities. She can take sort of just like that facade to like protect her energy and herself. She can bring that into her relationship. So it's saying she needs to really watch out with that, right? Okay, so this is beautiful energies. Before I get to the zodiacs and all of that, what I'm seeing here is that they're both stability for each other. So I'm seeing that this romance, this love, it's perfect for them. It's home for them. It brings stability. The Four of Pentacles is home. It's stability. They just need to watch out with their emotions. You know, I'm seeing people, and I don't know their zodiac signs. That's why I don't reference like what their zodiac signs could be, because yeah, I don't have to Google that to know the energy. What I'm seeing though is people that can be moody. I'm seeing she can be moody. I'm seeing that he can be moody. They need to watch out with that moody energy. And I don't have to read all of that. I just see the Cancer and it tells me the energy. Cancers can be moody, right? Sometimes Cancers can kind of like dig a hole for themselves to kind of just like sit in, to like let the sort of like tense energy they might have radiate out. You know, they need to figure out a more healthier way to kind of like air out their sort of like grievances and air out sort of just like the negative energy. They need to figure out a way to do that, right? Because I'm seeing here that, you know, he's a wounded person. He's sad. Not just that, you know, she's still a woman at the end of the day, and she needs to be nurtured as well. Women need to be nurtured. And if you guys say like, oh, I'm being sexist or some shit because I said a woman needs to be nurtured, then you're just mentally sick, right? Because it's just like 1 minute it's kind of just like, oh, don't treat me like a woman. Don't open the door for me. Treat me like like we're equals and shit. And then it's kind of just like the next moment you're bitching about like, oh, but what about me? I'm not being nurtured and stuff. Like, men don't be nurtured. I could tell you that firsthand. So it's kind of just like what do you want? Because there's a lot of fucking crazy ass people sometimes. I be watching my readings talking shit to me. So what I'm seeing here is that she's still a woman at the end of the day, so she needs to be nurtured. He needs to nurture her, and they need to kind of just like figure out a way to air out sort of just like that negative energy, and they have to figure that out on themselves and shit like that. As far as work, these people are so blessed with work. It's kind of just like they don't really have to ever go broke, and this is real. It's kind of just like they can always find some way or means of employment, some serious gainful employment too, some sort of employment where it's kind of just like you're making salaries that people don't even make in like one lifetime type of employment. So they need to understand that they're immensely blessed. And it's telling me that these people don't really care about that too much, which is kind of deep. Like they don't really care about the money is what's being told to me. Like, it's almost just like they're just doing the motions of life. That's why it's something cold and hollow about it. Because it's like, I guess they're at a point where they don't even care for sort of just like the money and just all of it. So it is something melancholic going on here, what I'm seeing here. But what I'm seeing here is that, like, she's strong. She's definitely strong. It just, in this existence, in this lifetime, she just has to be the strong one. That's how this relationship is going to work. It's just telling me, like, the advice would be to her that, like, if you become the weak one, or if you're looking to kind of be nurtured in a way where it's kind of just like more delicate, you're not going to get that. And it's telling me, and this is deep, and I don't like speaking to absolutes, but it's telling me she's not going to get that in this lifetime. Like, where she's going to be like a delicate one and shit like that, and the guy is just going to be, even if she wants to be with a woman, right? Because you can be in a gay lesbian relationship and one is more masculine, one's more feminine, right? It's just nature. But it's kind of just like whoever she's with, even if this doesn't work with this guy. So like, this is for her to understand, like, she's not going to ever be sort of like the delicate one. She's always going to be strong. It's something about her that she's just a warrior, right? I would say, though, being strong, being weak, what happens when you're strong and when you're weak? Can you guys tell me? What do you think happens when you're strong and when you're weak? Like if one person is weak and one person's strong, it creates a relationship imbalance, right? So I know that, like, it is what it is, like what I was saying, but it could create a relationship imbalance. And this Taurus energy, this is why I bring up the relationship imbalance. A Taurus can be very loving, can be very supportive, but I don't know. A lot of Taurus that I've done readings for, and people in person, right? Because I've done like a lot of readings for men in person, not for like the readings I do for men. They're always like gay men. Like if it's from like someone from like YouTube, it's always, I guess, because they're watching these the celebrity stuff, so they're always like gay and stuff like that. But when I have like a reading for a dude in person, whenever I do readings for a Taurus, right? And like sometimes it could be just for fun, just like, oh, let me just do a reading on you. Or like, oh, like, are you really serious about this? Let me see. They always end up having a secret. A Taurus always have a secret. A Taurus always have a secret. It just, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like their polar opposite is Scorpio, but it's just like they always have a secret. And every time I've done a reading, right, in person, because people, they don't want to admit things when like you do readings for them, like, through the internet and shit. Like sometimes, like they'll keep coming back, right? They won't tell you anything. Like some people, they want to be secretive that way. I don't really know why. It's interesting. Some people don't really want to divulge too much. They just be like, oh, thank you for reading and stuff. And then they come back and they don't want to give like no insight. And I don't push it. Like I don't tell anyone to do anything. Like no one can ever pull up an email where it's kind of just like, oh, you need to like give me this. And why aren't you giving me this? It's kind of just more just like, I'll tell them, like, I'll notice it. I'll be like, yo, it's interesting that you don't really give me insight. Like, it's fascinating, And then they don't even say anything about it. They don't even be like, oh, yeah, I don't give you insight because such and such. They're just secretive, right? So, like, I don't push the issue. It's like, whatever. But when it's in person, I could push the issue. I could be like, so why aren't you telling me like what's up? Because that's just the nature of my personality. Like, so it's just like I'd be like, yo, what's up? Like, what? Like, is it true? Is it not true? Like, what? Like, what am I missing? Am I not seeing something? Like, what's going on? And they don't want to like admit it, but they always end up admitting it, right? Like they always have some sort of like sexual degeneracy or something that's a secret, right? And it's kind of just like, because I have my moon in the first house and I'm a Scorpio, I have my Pluto in the first house. So it's kind of just like I can even see through them too. So whatever reason, like people just want to tell me the truth in person. I don't know why it happens. It just happens. Like it's interesting, right? I guess that's one of the perks of like doing things in person. Like, you know how many guys admitted that like they either cheat on their girlfriend or cheat on their wife, and sometimes they have kids. Sometimes they cheat on their wives with women. Sometimes they cheat on their wives with men. Like, and honestly, there hasn't been one Taurus man that like I've had a reading for or like looked at their chart where it's kind of just like when I bring up these things where they be like, it's not true. Like they don't want to admit it. They look uncomfortable. You know what I mean? They're weird. Like, you know, it's kind of like they're antsy in the pants. They can't sit right. And you can see like the shame on their face. But then they end up like saying it. They be like, oh, okay, like, you know, between me and you, like, you know, like, I ain't gonna admit it, but between me, like, I ain't gonna admit it, like, if you bring it up, but between me and you, yeah, like, you know, I might, like, mess with men. It's so funny that, like, you see that, like, you can, I don't know how you do it, but that shit is trippy, and when you mention it, like, I didn't even know what to say. It was very weird, like, how, I don't even know how you, like, knew this, right? And sometimes it's not even nothing so extreme, but I don't know why, like, the Taurus men, it's always something to do with, like, some sort of homosexuality. Even if they don't feel like it's gay, they either be with, like, a tranny, and if they're not doing that, it's kind of just, like, either they, like, one thing I've always noticed, too, is a passive role. Like, one guy just told him out of, like, just directly, I was just like, you're submissive, aren't you? Like, you like women to control you. And he was, like, all uncomfortable, and he was just like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I love like when women do it. And he was just like, between me and you, sometimes I have the urge for a man to do it too. Like, it's weird things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've experienced with different signs, different things. Like, there's even signs where it's like, they might not get like respect, like with their families and shit. Like, I know it's like, Libras, they have a certain thing, like, let's say even if their family loves them, it's always something where they don't get the respect that they deserve, right? Like, they'll probably get like the credit to a certain degree, but they don't get the respect. Like, it was kind of just like this one guy, like, his dad is a Libra, and for whatever reason, he just feels like his dad is like an idiot, or it's kind of just like, I'll just use a celebrity, for example, like Kim Kardashian. It's kind of just like she's a Libra, and her daughters and her family don't really respect her. You know, these people have everything they have because of her. Like, yeah, you can say the mom, but she's the face, she's the image, and she was the workhorse. So even if the mom's the mastermind, Kris Jenner or Kardashian, whatever, it's kind of just like Kim was the workhorse. You know what I mean? She's the whole fucking NFL team and shit. And it's kind of just like she don't really get the credit that she deserves. And it's a shame. But it's like one of the things that comes with an energy of a Libra. So I bring that up to say that like every zodiac sign kind of comes with things, certain secrets or certain compulsions or whatever you want to call it. And it's fascinating. But this is a long reading, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. But take care, guys. This was fascinating. So I was trying to say, let me just say before I leave it here, that this Taurus energy, just watch out with this. You need to watch out, and even him, with this sort of like imbalance of energy, because he's a bit more soft and weak, and she's strong-willed and powerful. So sometimes, you know, people start doing secretive things when they either have more power or when they're weak. You know, it's human nature. We can't just act like we're in paradise here and human nature doesn't, like, you know, start to do its thing. So it's something with all of this shit. But yeah, take care, guys. Peace and abundance. And yeah.